In this lecture, we're going to learn how to make our messages more flexible by using formatting and pluralization. For some translations, simply outputting the message won't be enough. Sometimes we'll want to change the wording in a message based on the values in the database. In other cases, we may want to insert the values into the translation. The I18N library can help us solve these issues. I'm currently viewing a song. We're displaying the number of comments in the header of the comments section. In the heading, we're outputting the word comments. We can translate this word, but what if we have one comment? It wouldn't make sense to use the plural version of the word comment when there's only one comment. A basic conditional statement will work, but we also have to worry about translations as well. The I18N library comes with a simple solution for helping us output the correct translation for words that are either singular or plural. Let's explore how that's done. First, we'll create the translation. Open the English translation file in your editor. We'll add a new path called song.commentCount. Similar to before, we're creating a new object in the translation file called song for messages related to the song component file. The comments message will be stored under this path. The next step is to add the message. View I18N comes with something it calls formatting. Formatting is the process of passing in a value to the message. The value you pass in will appear wherever the translation allows it. It uses interpolation-like expressions. We can insert a placeholder into the message to tell the library where to load the value. Placeholders are created using curly bracket syntax. We'll add the placeholder at the beginning of the message. In between these curly brackets is the name of the placeholder. We're going to call this count. Afterward, we'll add the word comments. The next step is to add this translation to the song component file. Let's open it in our editors. There are 3 sections in this component. The title for the comments can be found in the second section. The text we'll want to translate can be found under the comment that says comment count. Completely replace the inner text with an expression. In the expression, we'll call the $T function. The path to the translation we'll want to output is song.commentCount. The $T function has an optional second parameter. You can pass in an object that will be used to replace the placeholders in the message. The name of the properties in the object must match the names used for the placeholders. We added one placeholder, which was the count placeholder. The value for this will be the number of comments in the song. It's stored in the song.commentCount property. After making those changes, save your files, then view the browser. The message will be outputted along with the number of comments. However, it doesn't change the issue that if there were a single comment, it would output a grammatically incorrect translation. That's the next thing we'll tackle. View I18N supports pluralization. It's the process of outputting a translation that can either be singular or plural. We won't have to make any changes to the message to get it working. Switch back to the editor. We'll want to update the message for the comment count path to support pluralization. There are 3 scenarios that we need to account for. The translation for when there are no comments, when there is one comment, and when there is more than one comment. Rather than creating 3 individual translations, we can continue to use a single path by separating the messages with a pipe character. These have to be added in a specific order. Add the following: no comments, pipe, one comment, pipe, count comments. The first message must be for when the number of comments is 0. The second message is for when the number of comments is equal to 1. Lastly, the third message is for when the number of comments is greater than 1. They're separated by pipe characters. View I18N is intelligent enough to know which to use. The next step is to update the code in the song component file. Back in the song component file, instead of calling the $T function, replace this with the $TC function. The $T function will not work with plural translations. If we want to support plural translations, we need to use the $TC function. The arguments are slightly different than the $T function. The first argument is the path to the message. We're using the same path. We'll leave the first argument intact. The second argument is a numeric value. This argument will be used to determine which message in the path to use. We'll pass in song.commentCount. The last parameter is the values for the placeholders. We'll use the same object we had before. Placeholders work the same in the $TC function. This is great because we won't have to make further changes. Let's check if pluralization is working in the app. Refresh the page in the browser. Depending on the number of comments, you should see the correct message outputted. By using formatting and pluralization, you can fulfill most of your translation needs. They're very powerful, yet simple to use features for creating translations. You can test pluralization further if you'd like by modifying the comment count property in the document. The correct message will be rendered regardless of the count. In the resource section of this lecture, I provide a link to the pluralization documentation page. There's a section that documents how you can take pluralization further by defining a function for languages with more complex rules. I suggest giving it a read in case you need to support languages with such cases. For our app, the solution we're using works fine.